Continuing on my previous video where I discussed the moving average columns, I'm going to continue talking about the new technical analysis columns by focusing on another popular indicator, the MACD. If we go again to Add Column, under the Technical tab, scroll down and we'll find MACD. MACD is a moving average convergence divergence, and the variants that we have here are going to be obviously different from ones that are in the moving average. So let's look at a few. The first three, value, main, signal and histogram, will display the latest value, the numerical value of the MACD. This is the main MACD line. This is a signal line, normally marked as a dotted line on the indicator on the chart, and the last one is the value of the histogram. Similarly to the moving average, the sub options to the right allow you to show the latest value, or the value a number of periods ago, or the absolute change, or the percentage change compared to, again, a number of periods ago. Again, above here we have the settings for the indicator themselves. So we have the two moving averages, short and long, and the signal line, 13.26.9 being the default, but obviously you can change it to whatever you want. And below here we have the period, so daily data, weekly data, or monthly data. The next three options are crossed zero. Cross zero is a binary column, so it will either show you a tick or not when you add it, and it will indicate when the main line, in this case for cross zero main, has crossed above zero, if you select above on the right hand side, or below zero. And you can do this for all three lines, so either the main line, the signal line, or the histogram. I'm just going to show you an example here with the main line. So I'm going to keep the default MACD options, cross zero main and above, still keeping on daily data. And the look back period, just to recap what I said in my previous video, the look back period will look back a number of periods to look for the cross. In this case, it will find any share where the main MACD line has crossed above the zero line at any point in the last 5 periods, i.e. in this case the last 5 days. I'm going to be a little stricter, set this to 1, so it'll only find the instruments where the MACD has crossed above 0 in the last day. If we add this, close the dialog box, we can sort the list and by this column, and all the ones with a tick, i.e. all the ones where the MACD has just crossed, appear at the top of the list. If we move to the graph of Babcock, the first item in our list, we go to indicators, new indicator, and I'll create a MACD, create. It will create a 13.26.9 by default. If you want to change it, you can hit the edit button. I click on OK, and here is our MACD. If I increase the size slightly and zoom in, you will notice that between yesterday and today, the MACD has just crossed above the 0 line. If we hit the space bar to move down to the next share in the list, you will see that the same has occurred, and again, and again. If you go back to the add column button, go back to MACD, the other two options, so cross zero signal, cross zero histogram, will do exactly the same thing, but looking at the signal line, so the dotted line, or the histogram of the MACD. The next one is crossed main and signal. Here, it again another binary column, so it's either crossed or it hasn't, where it will look for crosses between the main MACD line and the signal line, so the dotted line. And again, you have the same sub options, so crossed above or crossed below, so main line crossing above the signal or main line crossing below the signal, and the look back period. So if I do this, Click on OK. Double click on the heading. If you're using this on a tablet, you can just click the heading and press the sort button here for the list to sort by this column. Here we can have quite a few results. If we select the first one, go to the chart, we will see that the main MACD line has just crossed above the signal line. I did make a mistake. The default isn't a dotted line, it's just a paler red. That's my fault, I apologize. If we go down the list, we can see that again all shares that have a tick have just crossed above the signal line. The next set of options are the turned up and turned down. This all it does, it simply signals a change in direction. If a moving average was falling and it's now turned up, so it's now rising, it will be indicated as such. Again, it's a binary column, so it'll either have a tick if it has turned up or not have a tick if it hasn't. And again, you have a look back periods to see how far back it looks. So it's looking for changes in directions that have occurred in just the last day or in the last 2 days, 5 days, etc. If we select this, turned up main, this is the main line that we're looking at. Click on OK. Once again, sort. We'll select the first item, go to the graph, and we can see that in the last day, hopefully you can see this, that the MACD was falling on the previous day, but it is now starting to rise again. Now let's use what we've just learned to build a slightly more useful filter. So let's go back to the list, filter, and we'll apply a quick filter, and we'll go to add criteria. A classic way of using the MACD is finding shares where the main MACD line, so the dark red line, has just crossed above the signal line, so the pale red line, while also being below 0. So in this case, our filter will have two criteria. The first criteria, crossed main and signal, and we want crossed above. So we're looking for shares where the main line has crossed above the signal line. And again, I'm only going to look at the most recent day. I'll keep the default periods here, but obviously you can change it to whatever you want. And I click on OK. I hit apply, and now my list has dropped from the 350 shares in the FTSE 350 down to just 25 shares. I'm going to add a second criteria. In this case, I'll be looking at the value of a MACD, and I want the latest value. Still, obviously, let's keep it on the same periods. And here, I want to make sure that the value is below 0. So I'm going to set the max to 0. And hit apply. So as we can see, here are all the shares, all 5 in this case, in the FTSE 350 where the MACD has just crossed above its signal line whilst also being below 0. If we go to the chart, here we are. Main line crossed above the signal, the 0 line is here, so we're below the 0 line. We can go to the next item. And here we have this nice bullish trigger, and same here, 0 line is here, cross has just occurred, and same here, and on our last share. If you wish to save the filter that you've just created, just hit the keep button and give it a name, and the filter will appear in your list of filters when you go to apply filter. If you wish to discard it, just hit exit and the filter will be removed. If you have any questions regarding this or other features, please feel free to contact us either by phone or via email. In the meantime, thank you for listening and goodbye.